Hi everybody, one of the questions I get asked every now and again is how do I install the hardcore version of Namalsk, the one that's even colder, where there's even less stuff around. So that's what I'm going to show you in this video, how to install the hardcore version of Namalsk. And thing to remember is to do this you'll want to have Namalsk Island on your server, and you'll want to have Namalsk Survival on your server already, which I'm pretty sure you already have, and if you haven't, you'll want to subscribe to those with the other relevant mods and install them on your server. And it's down to the hardcore version is really down to the mission that you install, which is like all the types.xmls and the inits.c that will have less stuff on the server, and also the server config file as well, which will do things like disable first person and sort out things like the day and night time. So we've got to make sure we've got the right bits installed on our server, and then we've got to make sure that our server starts with the right mission file. That's the bit that often people forget about. So make sure you subscribe to them, and then what you want to do is you want to log into your FTP editor. So for example here I've already fired up my FTP editor and I've connected to my DayZ Namalsk server in the cloud. So this on the right, this is the remote server. This on the left, this is my local PC. So this is the workshop folder. Remember, you can use the launcher to find where your workshop folder is. Just fire up the launcher, go to the mods, go to the little three dots, open folder in Windows Explorer. Just make sure you don't bugger around with it, and it will show you where it is. Then at the top, if you just click near the top, it will give you the address. So you then can put that into your FTP so you know where everything is. And then what you'll notice is if you scroll down to Namalsk Survival on the left here, underneath extras, there's a hardcore version and a regular version. So you've probably got the regular version installed already, but if we open that up, look further, we can see it says hardcore.namalsk, and that should trigger a memory. So, oh wait a minute, that sounds like a mission. And that's because it is a mission. So down here on the right hand side, you want to go into the missions folder, and if we open this up, you'll see we've got DayZ offline.generous plus, DayZ offline.enoch, regular.namalsk. See, I haven't got hardcore.namalsk installed. So what I do is I'd right click there, say upload, and that will then upload the mission files, the hardcore mission files, to my server. Now, again, your mission files include things like types.xml, your events.xml, so they're all the things that kind of spawn in, and the events that happen, so the number of zombies and all that sort of stuff. So once we've done that, we need to make sure that our server starts with the hardcore.namalsk mission, and look at another couple of files as well. So if you go to your workshop folder in your DayZ folder and just go down to Namalsk Survival and open it up, and then go into the extras folder, then go into hardcore, you'll see we've got server dz.config. So if you open that up with your favorite text editor, and then also if you go into the folder, you'll see that there's an init.c. So if we edit that as well. So the init.c, we've already just uploaded it, but just to give you an idea, if we look at this section here, this is kind of the weather for your server. So it says things like aurora, blizzard, extreme cold, snowfall, EVR storm, and heavy fog. So that's kind of telling you that not only have you got the types.xml file where there's going to be less stuff and more zombies and that sort of stuff, but that's the bit that's going to make the weather even more extreme. But that's been uploaded automatically. That's cool. The thing that doesn't get uploaded automatic though is the server dz.config file. So that's the bit we've now got to change, because if you look down here, it says template equals hardcore.namalsk. So that's the mission that it's going to start. So this is where we then have to go to our web interface. I'm using Nitrado as an example here. In Nitrado, you have to go into expert settings. Okay, and expert settings is the server dz.config file. So if you've got access to your server dz.config, this is the file that you open. But if we scroll down here, we can see, there we go, there we've got the template equals regular.namalsk. So that's the one that we need to change. So we need to change that to template equals hardcore.namalsk. So what I would do is I would copy that one over, and then I would paste that over the top of there. Now the other thing that I could do as well is I could also copy and paste the other settings as well for things like the night time. You know, how fast does if we look at these things, so these top ones you don't have to worry about. It's really this. So server time, server nighttime acceleration, server time persistent, disable personal light, yes. They probably disable. Do they disable anything? Disable crosshair. You know, but I think they're very personal. I think you can still have a hardcore experience and still have third person, you know, because it's just going to get very. But you could copy those over if you wanted to. But the important thing is to make sure hardcore.namalsk is now in your mission template. Now, once you've done that, and you've got to stop your folder stop your server in the case of Nitrado, so you have to hit stop. And then it will say save down here. And once you've done that, you save that, and then you restart your server. When your server then restarts, it will then be the hardcore version of the game. Now, the thing to remember though is that if we look into our folder and we go into our mission, you'll see that under. Oh, did I put that into the wrong place? You'll see that each one has... Oh, actually, sorry, I copied that into the wrong place. I should have copied it into the upload. There we go, that's better. So that will appear there. You'll see that each one, when you started it, will have its own data file. So what that means is that when you start your server now, although it's still Namalsk, because it's hardcore.namalsk, it's treated as a different place, and so your characters will then be starting again. You'll have different. You'll have different. The characters will be starting on the coast as if they were new, and things like bases will be gone. Now they will still be there if you change the mission back to regular.namalsk. But just be aware of that as well. It's almost like you've changed the mission to back to Cherner or something like that. So there we go. That is how you install Hardcore Namalsk. Hopefully you find that useful. If you have, hit like, want to see more, subscribe, and I will of course see you again soon.